Good morning, guys, and welcome to today's Gunner Talk. Happy Saturday. Welcome you to a shit, wet, miserable Manchester, so back to normal, typical summer. Let's crack on. Stuff from yesterday. Let's have a little roundup. Singapore squad. Fairly interesting. Not huge changes from the other pre-season squad so far. The first one I saw didn't have Perez, and he's actually gone, so that's something I'm really happy about. Young lads, I was a bit shocked Willock was in it. I think he's one that's got to go out on loan. For me, he's the least ready of all the youth players we've got. So I really think we've got to see him go out on loan. I'd be shocked if he's part of the squad for next season. But yeah, obviously Smith Rowe being in there, that's really nice to see. I really hope this lad stays around the first team squad this year. I think he can really play beyond his years, just by his style of play. He's so calm on the ball, so I don't think he'd be in for a culture shock if he got games in the first team in cup games. So that was definitely nice to see. Ossie Tutu in there again. I really like this lad. As a person, I've watched a few things about him. He seems like a really good kid, and it's interesting for me. Obviously, Monreal's not in the squad, and I think that's maybe why this kid's in there, not so much on merit. But why is Monreal been given such a long break? I don't really understand it. Maybe there's nothing to read into it, but it's stoking the fire for me a little bit, because I feel like he might be one that's up for the chop if we could find somebody that we can replace him with straight away in this window. So I don't know. I mean, maybe Emery might be looking at it and going, this Ossie Tutu's, Jordan's not a bad lad here, let's just bin Nacho off and get some money in for another position. I just don't know at the minute, but I do think it's very interesting that he's having such a long break. But you could look at it on the other side of the coin and go, well, Emery sees him as his starting left back, and that's how it is. A couple of weeks pre-season, he'll be ready to roll. You just don't know, do you? But it's definitely very interesting. Welbeck the same. Yeah, him and Nacho are the same for me. A bit different to all the other players. They didn't get any game time, so why are they giving such long breaks? And like I say, it's fueling the fire for me a little bit that these two might be the names that are going, and they probably bring in the most money of players we have got that we're looking to sell. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting one. He will be back in the squad. Tells you well, Una might want to just at least have a look at him. Like I say, he's a player that I feel bad for because I've absolutely hammered him in the past, but it was because he was playing out on the wing and exclusively playing there, so that's all I was basing him on, and he was crap out wide. He's definitely a centre attacking mid. And if he's not going to get time there, then he's one for me that should go out on loan, especially with Jeff missing out. That was really disappointing for me, but we're going to have to whittle down numbers at some point, squad wise. I don't think going out on loan again is going to suit him, because he did really well last year out on loan, so it'd be sad to see him go. I think it'd be quite disheartening for him if he went out on loan again, and I think he's someone we should find a space for in the squad. If maybe Mickey and Laca are going to be the two, Mickey and Auba play out wide of a sort of front three, then Perez for me would definitely be one of the backups, and Nelson would be one of the backups, and then maybe Jeff as to back up those, and just an overall squad player. That's what I mean. Maybe we don't need a winger at the minute. I don't know. It's an interesting. This window's really interesting for me. There's 3 weeks left or whatever, and there's so many subplots going on at the club at the minute. I think it's super interesting. And I like most, I don't think we're going to know what this end squad looks like. We're all just guessing still, but we're getting little subtle hints of what might be happening. Wells for me has definitely got to go with 1 year left. Let's just get 20 million for him now, please. Whoever, this is a plea to all you clubs out there. Watford, you've got a couple of quid at the minute. Danny, lovely lad, runs a lot. Great signing, come and get him. That was a bit of an interesting one from the squad for me. The obvious names missing: Ospina, Jenkinson, Campbell. Bellick was one that was missing, but obviously he's not really played any part in anything. He just needs to get back playing again. He had awful luck with injuries last year, but one I've not given up hope on yet. It's interesting, and the squad's obviously looking fairly settled now with Ozil coming back. Torreira will be joining up with these lads in a couple of weeks, so it's all looking good at the moment. Another little thing on that front was these training videos. People are getting a little bit carried away from me. I think there's definitely a completely different process going on at the club and a completely different regime and way of doing things. But it's like off the back of this picture of Petr Cech looking absolutely ripped out of his mind. This is the Unai effect and all that. Look, guys, I'm no gym nut, as you can see. You can't get like that in a month. If you could, I'd do it. I'd get into the gym if you could do it in a month, but you can't. It takes a lot of hard work and dedication. And these lads are in great shape anyway. So it's only sort of a little tweaking, a little fine tune. But yeah, it's taking you months to get like that. So I think you've got to look and maybe give credit to who is deserving of it. Darren Burgess, it's got to be something to do with him. Surely he's our fitness guy. So him and his staff probably deserve the pat on the back more than Unai, and I think it's something that's been going on a bit longer. It's a long process, and now we're seeing the end results of it for a lot of them, because there's a few of them looking like that. Mkhitaryan for me looks in unreal shape. Saeed obviously, he's looked like he's trimmed down a little bit and just looks in better shape. Socrates, he looks a big unit, a decent lad. Chambers was another one for me. He's really filled out. He's looking. I think there's a big season in him this year. I think he's really going to step forward out of them young trio that we've got of him, Mavro and Holding. I think this lad's going to really try and stamp his name in the first team. So yeah, it's really good. Whatever it is, whoever's getting the credit, whoever deserves the credit, it's exciting stuff going on, and obviously the backroom stuff that's going on aligns with the sort of pressing game that we're going to play under Unai. So it's only good things. And I think we're going to be in the best shape we've been in a long time. So yeah, I thought that's really, really interesting. Dean Saunders yesterday, oh my word. And I'm sure a lot of people are just going to go, oh well, he's just racist, just two black lads, one's really banging into cars and daft haircuts and all, and he's clobber, and the other one you don't see a peep out of, and he's got them completely mixed up. It's just that old school footballing dinosaur roaring again. I don't really understand why these sort of guys are still getting a job based on a name from the 90s. Their opinions are completely out of date. The style of football they knew is out of date now. You're much better off. I work in that line of work, and there's so many young guys guys and girls out there that love the game, are passionate about it, are passionate about teams, and are passionate about the sport, and they write so much better content. Talksport for me are a dead thing. I've not listened to them for a long time, same as I don't read tabloid papers. Just garbage, money for old rope articles. There's so many better guys on here that do so much better work. It's just huge differences for me. So they need to come out and apologise no matter what, because it was disgusting. Don't just delete the tweet. Just come out and have some balls and show you're not that piss poor of an outfit, and just apologise, because it was bang out of order in my opinion. Along the line of those two, Laca and Auba, why did they get such disrespect as not two world class strikers in a lot of other fan bases' opinion? Even seen some Arsenal fans' opinions. I've seen loads of these stupid top 5 players in each position from loads of different fans over the last few days. And Auba and Laca aren't in that many of them, and it's laughable, especially when I see a player like Firmino above him. It's like, Aguero, I will take. Kane, I will take. He's proven in the Premier League, scoring 30 goals a season every season. Lukaku is another one. He might have a crap touch, but he still scores a shitload of goals. So he's one in there for me. And then for me, it has to be Aubameyang and Lacazette. Both played, a limited amount of games last year, but scored nearly a goal a game, or created a goal a game, which is unreal and better than most other players in the Prem. And they've both been doing it for years. Like I say, when I see Firmino in there, he has one good season last season. Not saying it was, I'm not going to badmouth that, he had a good season, but these guys have been scoring 20, 30, 40 goals a season for 5-6 seasons. It's just unreal that they even get compared. For me, it's embarrassing. So it's one that confuses the shit out of me. 2 rumours yesterday. Zaha and Richarlison would cost you more than Aubameyang and Lacazette. Like, what on earth is that all about? I have to chuckle to myself. The only thing I'm sort of enjoying about it, after just the instant pissed offness about the lack of respect, is that these guys are going to have a ridiculous season this season. Both are going to easily score over 25 goals each. Plus, I think it'll be very close between the two. I think Lacazette gets absolutely no credit for the world-class gunman he is. He's absolutely clinical. And he doesn't get anywhere near enough credit, and he's going to tear it up for me this year. And Aubameyang the same. Like I've said, he's more exciting, but he for me it's a lot more level between those two. And I just can't wait. And you look at sort of the midfield that we've got shaping now. You know, Torreira, Xhaka, Rambo, Ozil, Mickey. You know, all these in around. It's frightening. We're going to create so many chances next year, and we've actually got two absolute killers in front of goal to put them away. I could really, if we can hold it up at the back next year, I think we'll blow a lot of teams completely out of the water. I don't see it being any other way. So yeah, like I say, I think we might sneak up on a few people, and there's going to be so many people at the end of the season going, who are these two guys? And they finished what, first and second in the Golden Boot? Like, thank God. Honestly, manners. You need to learn some manners because it's ridiculous. I'm just really poor from a lot of the media. It's just shameful. Rambo, I'm going to stick with that. He's signing this contract, guys. I think it's going to happen. I think we just made a rod for our own back with how much we offered Ozil, and I think that's the real sticking point. Is I think Aaron will, and rightly so, he'll be saying, well, you know, am I that much worse than this guy to get 150 grand a week less or whatever? So I think there's a big gap there, and that's what's been the problem. But I think it'll get done, and I think this is why I want to see some of these, you know, like Czech or Welbs, Monreal, some of these guys go to free up some money, and the likes of Jenkins and Campbell, you know, Ospina. Let's get rid of them already. Let's get this money off the wage bill, so we can really attack what we want to get coming in. So that was that on that one. Gazidis, I'm still of the belief that he's staying. I'd be stunned if he leaves. But you just never know. Money talks, bullshit walks. So you know, we'll see on that one. But I'd be quite shell shocked if he goes anywhere. Rumours that have cropped up yesterday. Coleman's still knocking about. Like I say, guys, for me the door's shut on this one. I think unless something really interesting happens. And as I said yesterday about the revolving door, you know, sort of I'm not fixated on one certain winger that we have to get or I'll lose the plot. I think as one door shuts, another opens. So it was interesting that Rebic's name popped in yesterday. He's one I mentioned a couple of times during the World Cup. I've not seen much of him before. I really like him. He's got two great feet. He looks really, really fast. I think he recorded the third fastest time in the World Cup or something sprint. I noticed he looked really pacey and had a really good engine as well, and a physical big winger. He's not just flea weight. I could see him really hacking it in the Prem. Rough diamond though, don't get me wrong, he's not the finished article by any long way, but I think he's only 24, so you know, you get a good 4-6 years there of turning him into a really quality player. So he's one I was happy to see his name back in there. Good old Dembele, my mate. You know, I'm going to stay adamant that if he becomes available on loan, I think we're his most obvious destination, most sensible one. So I just stick by that. And it's just nice to be excited that these names are getting bandied around. Malcolm, that picture that people are talking about now from the start of the season, that's Canales in that picture. He's not Malcolm's agent, Garcia is, so I don't think there's any legs in that at all. I think maybe it's people barking up the wrong tree, I could be wrong, but whatever, that's just my opinion on that one. Lozano, Bailey, Pulisic, somebody said Adeola Lookman yesterday. You know, there's loads of names out there at the minute, guys, for us to not get fixated on one, and we've got to bring this guy in, we've got to bring that guy in. Pavon, you know, there's so many. So I think we can stay cool and just enjoy that, you know. It's going to be a wrap on this in 3 weeks, so there's not long for us to wait, guys, so just enjoy the little rumours that are bobbing about. Yeah, I think it's so exciting. Like I say, I think there's so many little things going on at the club at the minute that there's going to be still a lot happening these next few weeks, and I can see a bit of it going on while we're away in Singapore. So, yeah, all positive stuff from me today, guys. Hope you've enjoyed. Anything you want to talk about, comment, get in touch with me, and come on, you Gooners. Enjoy your weekend and take care, guys.